Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ian Smith's Rushing! Please welcome to the stage, Ian Smith! Oh, thank you! Thank you very much. How are we all? Are we good? Yes! Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Just want to immediately put you at ease. If you haven't seen me before, I'm going to give you a stat from the Edinburgh Fringe. Full month of gigs, only one walkout. Yeah. I feel like, that's pretty impressive. It was a very complimentary walkout as well. What happened? There was a woman, she was feeling quite faint, she's feeling quite sick, she had to leave the venue. That's a medical walkout. That's not on me. But crucially, her husband had come in with her, and he did not leave. Yeah. He saw his wife barely able to walk out of a room. She's all over the place. He's looking back at her like, I'll see you in 15 minutes, love. God rest her soul. Quite a sad story to open with. But I should tell you a bit about myself. My name's Ian. I come from Yorkshire. I come from a little town called Goole. Yeah, if you don't know Goole, it's just a stone's throw away from York if you throw that stone onto a 2-hour train journey. But it's a weird town with weird people. I'll give you some of my favourite examples. So I was back in Goole recently. I saw a man on a mobility scooter just driving along. A kid threw an egg at him. Then the man stood up off the mobility scooter. He ran after the kid and punched him in the face. Yeah. That made me proud to come from Goole. One of the few towns where you get to see benefit fraud live. I saw a man in Goole. He's walking down the street very confidently wearing 3 bum bags. 3 full bum bags. I can't imagine being in a situation where I filled 1 bum bag and I'm not looking down at the rest of my stuff thinking, this is clearly a rucksack situation. No, not this man. He's straight in the bum bag cupboard. He's not stopping till he's finished. Moving house, 60 bum bags wrapped around him. But Goole is dead now. There's nothing going on in the high street. It's basically betting shops, tanning salons, and in one case, a bizarre amalgamation of the two. And my mum and dad, they'll send me little newspaper articles from Goole just to let me know what's going on in the town. Genuine headline, Goole gets new vending machine. That's in the paper, that's news. There's a vending machine in town. The town's rejoicing. There's euphoria all over the place. The most humiliating aspect of that story, that vending machine was opened by the mayor. That is sad for the town. It was someone's job to wrap a big ribbon around a vending machine. He's cut it with a huge pair of scissors. He had his picture taken with the vending machine. One of the weirdest images I've seen in my life. Because you're thinking, what poses are you doing for a vending machine? I reckon you can go stood next to the vending machine. You can maybe lean up against it, keep it casual. Goole Town Mayor went with a third option, which is to attempt to put your arm around it as if it were another person. But my family from Goole, they're very normal. And that's not good for comedy. You know what I mean? You want a weird family member to tell everyone about. So I'm racking my brains. I'm trying to think, who's my weirdest family member? And this ain't going to sound huge, but I think it's fucking weird. I've got an uncle who puts his hands on his hips too high. You know what I mean? It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's fucked up. He comes into a room, he'd be like, oh, you right, boys? What are we doing today? What's going on? Lower than that, John, please. What's the show about? What's the show about this year? Well, if you saw my last show, that was about being engaged. This show is not about being engaged, and it's not about being married. Oh! Oh, something's happened. Something's gone off there, hasn't it? Surely. It's not a breakup show, though. That's important information. It's not a breakup show. I'm only giving you that information as context for what the show is about. And the show's about stress. And it's largely me being disproportionately stressed about things. You're probably going to be thinking, I don't know why he's that bothered about that. But now we've got that lovely bit of context. We all know what's happening. But it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about other stuff. Like my fridge. My fridge is pissing me off. Right, I do get a sense in the room that you're thinking, he's projecting relationship stuff onto the fridge here. No, this is about my fridge. Swear down. I swear down, actually, it's about my fridge. And I've been with this fridge for years. No, I've had the fridge. I've had this fridge for years. I've got a flatmate. He's 35 years old, still draws a little line on his milk in marker pen to know where the level is. It's fucking unacceptable. What I do, though, I buy my own milk and I use my milk to top his milk up just above the line. Just fucking with his head slowly. He thinks the milk's growing, I've got to him. I've seen him Google, does milk expand? I'm in there. And I don't want to brag so early on into the show, but my side of the fridge is looking pretty good at the minute. I've got some goo puddings in there. Yeah, thank you. Anyone in here never had a goo pudding? Yeah, you'd be ashamed to admit it, wouldn't you? Look, if you're being shy, I'll let you know what they are. Basically, they're these posh little puddings. They come in a glass ramekin. You eat the pudding, you wash the ramekin, and then you look at it, and you think to yourself, I'll do something with this. First thing you do with it, you put it in a drawer with 25 other unused goo ramekins. You're doing fuck all with those ramekins. By way of cheer, who currently has an empty goo ramekin in the house? Yeah, that's a lot of people for a completely unused bit of glassware. Is anyone doing anything like good or creative with the ramekins? Yeah, fucking. That's the most confident way I've ever heard anyone say the word, yeah? You said it like, yeah. Makes me sounds like you're doing something pretty saucy with these. What have you got going on?
I bake.
You bake?
Yeah,
and you use... So what you've done is you get a pudding, and you've gone to yourself, I can do better than this. I'll put my own in there. Yeah. What sort of stuff are you baking? Cheesecake. That is a good pudding. The arrogance of this man. Call that a cheesecake, one of the most recognisable pudding brands, I'll see about that. Some people will tell you very excitedly, they'll say, did you know a Pringles lid fits perfectly on a goo ramekin? And you think, oh, wow, great. Now I've got a lid on fuck all. I've got a lid on fuck all and some of the stalest Pringles I've ever had in my life. I like goo puddings, but the last ones I bought, they pissed me off. I wasn't happy with them because they put an exclamation mark at the end of the cooking instructions. You happy with that? Level of attitude from a pudding? It said, put in the microwave for 30 seconds, comma, no longer! Oh, fucking shout at me, you're a pudding! You're a pudding, you're in my house, I'm the alpha here. Fucking 30 seconds, no longer. I put them in the microwave, 45 seconds, fuck you. Took them out and they were burnt within an inch of their lives. You've got to listen to stuff when it's written down. A good example of this. Anyone taking Imodium at the minute? Okay. Don't usually get a big cheer. But on the side of an Imodium packet, under potential side effects, it says, if you take Imodium, you may suffer from a loss of libido. Like, oh, the diarrhea does that for me. I wasn't thinking about my sex drive when I'm shitting myself like this. What sort of maniac? Mid-diarrhea. Reading, lose my libido. Not for me, then. I'm feeling pretty sexy and confident right now. Who knows, maybe I'll get lucky tonight in between these frequent, horrendous toilet stops. But I'm trying to get out of the house. Trying to de-stress. So I booked myself a little weekend away in Blackpool. Yeah, a couple of people probably realising the mistake I've made there immediately. Blackpool is not a relaxing place. There's a weird energy to Blackpool. I've never seen so many 5-year-olds drinking Red Bull. That's the type of place Blackpool is. But I was excited. I booked this hotel. I arrive at the hotel to be immediately downgraded. I haven't done anything. I've turned up at the designated time, been downgraded to a single room. Why? Because the man in the room before me has shit the bed. That's the level of hotel we're dealing with here. He shit the bed. How do I know he shit the bed? Because the hotel told me. They just told me that was what happened. I don't know what you do if you run a hotel, but I would have made up a fucking reason. I said shit the bed. I'm a new customer. I'm coming into your workplace for the first time. Don't say shit the bed. Even if you're panicking, just go, unforeseen circumstances. I wouldn't have asked for any more information there. I think I'd have been happier if they said, there's a body in your room. There's a dead body on your bed. We haven't found the killer yet, and we think he's still in the hotel. Right, yeah, as long as he didn't shit himself when he died, get me in there. They could see I wasn't happy. They could see I wasn't happy with the news, so they changed tact very quickly. They become very professional. And they said, oh, don't worry, Mr. Smith. The gentleman in question has gone now. Oh, thank you. That's got to be the bare minimum I'm hoping for here. That the man who shit the bed has not, for some reason, been allowed to stay in the hotel to the degree of which it overlaps with my booking. So I've got a top and tail with shit your pants. No, thank you. He's gone, obviously. The bedding has gone. The mattress has gone. We've replaced them. We've done a deep clean on the room. It looks fantastic. It smells beautiful in there. But we're not going to put you in that room because, and here comes a direct quote from a man who runs a hotel business, said, we're not going to put you in that room because at the minute, you can still feel it in the room. How bleak is this hotel? You can feel the human shit in the room. Not physically, the shit's gone. You can't touch it, you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't hear the shit. The problem is, the memory of the shit is still there. The north is fucked. I think it's harder to relax if you're northern. I think it's harder to relax up north. Especially as a northerner living in London. It's hard. And people patronise you when you've got a northern accent. They just assume you're stupid rather than getting to know you and working it out that way. Like, even good stuff. I was on Radio 4 last year. That's supposed to be a good career achievement. Get on Radio 4. They don't usually let northerners on the radio. If you think about when you usually hear a northern voice on the radio, it's when we're about to express a horrific opinion on TalkSport. That's our usual sort of thing. Right, and next on the subject of immigration, we've got Mike from Barnsley. Cut the line on him. He's going to say the words navy and harpoon gun very early on here. Well, we're not all like that. No, I was on Radio 4, I was doing a bit of topical comedy, and I received multiple complaints. And you're thinking, well, what controversial subject were you talking about here, Ian? No. I received my complaints because of how I pronounce the letter H. Well, yeah, and I get a real clear sense in the room, you're not going to be on my side here. I say it wrong. I know that now. I say H It's supposed to be H. I still feel like I've not won anyone over here. Who like doesn't care? Because I think that's a normal reaction. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like if I said to you, oh, could you just nip across the road and get me something from W.H. Smith? You won't be like, I've got no idea what you're on about. I mean, if it's stationary, I could maybe go, there's a W.H. Smith over there. If that could help you. People are angry. I received multiple emails. Angry emails. I got a tweet from a woman called Margaret. She was pissed off. Margaret's tweet, she said, I was enjoying listening to Radio 4 until Ian Smith came on. Someone needs to teach him how to speak properly. It is A-I-T-C-H, not H-A-I-T-C-H. Has anyone here been in a position where you've had to have a letter spelt to you before? A letter. A letter's one. You know what? A letter is the bit that makes up a word. Don't leave me here. A letter is one letter long. A-I-T-C-H. She spelled a letter to me with 5 letters. And one of those letters was the letter she's spelling to me. She's lost her fucking head here, Margaret. She's gone. The thing that annoyed me most about Margaret's tweet, that woman had not tweeted in 5 years. 5 years. Her last tweet 5 years ago was, beautiful weather outside. First goldfinch of the season on my bird feeder, bliss. And she's put her laptop screen down. She's lived in that blissful life for 5 years, skipping around. Nothing's bothered her in 5 years. And not just 5 years, by the way. Anyone here remember? The last 5 years. The shittest 5 years of our collective memory. Nothing's bothered Margaret, though. Anyone here remember the pandemic? That, straight over her perm. She don't give a shit about that. Cost of living crisis. Nothing from Margaret. Wars rampaging across the world. She's like rolling her eyes at the news a bit, like she finds it annoying. I said H on the radio, and she's gone, for fuck's sake! Where's my laptop? Where's my 2018 Dell laptop? Getting it out, opening it up, blowing the dust off the keys. What's my login? There's no way she remembers a login after 5 years. She had to stay angry at me for the amount of time it takes for her to reset her own password. She's livid throughout that bit where she's got to click on fire hydrants to prove she's not a robot. There's a fucking fire hydrant there! I know what a fire hydrant is, I'm not a robot, I'm a human! A-I-T-C-H-U-M-A-N. Human. I don't know if that's an applause for me or an applause you gave yourselves for working it out. There's a little delay and you're like, oh no, I've got that, well done. But it's either that, or she's had to stay angry at me for the amount of time it takes for to find that book that all old people have got with all the passwords written in it. Old people are fucking stupid. No disrespect to a couple of people in the room. But my mum and dad, they're old. They're old, and they've got themselves a password book, but they're very clever with it. See if you can work this one out. And they keep their passwords tucked away in their address book. Under P. Yeah, for passwords. Good luck, burglars. Unless Alan Turing's in your gang, you're not cracking this code. The Smith family home is a fortress. Get patronised when you've got a northern accent, living down south. Like, I was out with 4 friends of mine, and these guys are all stereotypically upper middle class, privately educated guys. One of them brought their new girlfriends along. She's also stereotypically upper middle class, privately educated. And this girl, she did something I think is unacceptable. So she's talking, Well, the pause I'm leaving there makes it sound like that is my problem. She's just talking. She's giving it this when the boys are having a chat. No, thank you, madam. It is pretty crucial because it's being recorded. Where's the camera? I think women are allowed to talk. Yeah. But I honestly believe that. Like it's a mad thing to say. And I honestly believe that. Get involved, get involved. You know, wait until the guys have had their say. Don't be going over stuff. No, she's talking. Big thumbs up from me. Just encouraging her. Go on, go on. She's talking. She's very funny. She's very confident. She's immediately at ease in the social setting. It's all perfect until, after certain words, she turns to me, and only me, just to ask me if I know what that word means. That's fucked up. You can't do that to people. All throughout the night, she's going, I'm training to be a physiotherapist at the minute. Oh, God. Ian, pop your crayons down for a second. Do you know what a physiotherapist is? And I'm like, what's going on here? I'm the only one getting a quiz. And none of my 4 friends have gone, don't do that, Abigail. Of course he knows what a physiotherapist is. They're looking at me like they've been wondering this the whole friendship. They're on tender hugs. They're like, ask him more stuff. He's thick as shit, this one, I reckon. Look how many bum bags he's got on. That's insane. I bet he's got a pet kestrel. His dad won't let him do ballet. I bet you. It's 2 different films. She keeps doing it to me. One point she says, I don't think I'll order a bottle. Might just get a carafe of wine if that's... Oh, God. Ian? Bless him, he's got Peppa Pig up on his iPad. Ian, do you know what a carafe is? And I'm very defensive at this point. So I was straight in with, yeah, I know what a fucking carafe is. 100%. Well, not a bottle, as established. Bigger than a ramekin, surely. Would you put a cheesecake in it, take it out, put another one in? Would you do that? Right, she had a point with carafe, to be fair to her. I'd seen it written on the menu, I read it in my head as carafe. She's got a point. Good job I didn't go on Radio 4 talking about carafes. Margaret slapping goldfinches out of her own garden. Fuck this! But you shouldn't do that to people. I got my own back though. Started doing it back to her with very simplistic working class words. So at one point I said, might just nip to the bar and get some crisps if anyone... Oh no. Abigail? Do you know what crisps are? How best to describe these to you? Well, they're like little individual dauphinoise that have been overcooked. I'll get some for you to try. I did the dauphinoise joke in my hometown of Goole. 150 people, nothing. Not one laugh for dauphinoise. And that's awkward because, considering the content of that routine, I then had to look them all in the eye and go, right, do you know what a dauphinoise is? 4 people put their hands up. So I then read out a dauphinoise recipe. It wasn't the funniest bit of the gig. It's hard to make that funny. But I read out a dauphinoise recipe. 1 person put their hand up again, one of the original 4, just to let me know that's not what I thought it was. So we're already down to 3. And I could see in the eyes of 2 of the others, they weren't confident either. They thought it was French for mashed potato, and that's okay. I know I'm too stressed out. And I know I let things bother me too much because my dentist told me. She told me off for grinding my teeth Do you have any other teeth grinders in? Yeah. Do you have a mouth guard? Yeah. Got to get a mouth guard. I'm going to be honest with you though, they're awkward, especially if you're in a relationship, because it means there's a point in every evening where you have to turn to your partner and say, are we finished with any kissing or potential sexual activity for the evening? The answer is usually, well, if we weren't, we are now. You just said the phrase, potential sexual activity. Might as well have had 6 Imodiums for that's done to my libido. You got to ask. Otherwise, something can get instigated when you've got the mouthguard in, then you've got to find the right moment to be like, just, it's like, and I'm there. Not in the mood anymore? Okay, well, I'll pop it back in, dental safety first. It's changed how I feel about my teeth. I used to think your teeth were so strong. Not anymore. I used to think the coolest thing someone could do is when they could open a bottle of beer with their teeth. You know, when so you just go, oi, oi. What a baffling response. Can you open a bottle with your teeth? Yeah. Just oi, oi in yourself. Yeah. Oi, oi, right here. I've got to tell you that I don't think it's cool anymore, because I've realised there's no other kitchen utensil, if you replace with your face, people would find impressive. You're not going to be at a dinner party and hear someone go, man, I can't find the potato masher anywhere. There's a guy in the corner just like, yeah, don't worry, I've actually learned how to do this with my face. Get the butter in! A bit of eyeball mash, get it in there. Dauphinoise, done. We've done that. I find teeth annoying. I think they're the weirdest part of your body. And a lot of people are on board when I say this, but I can convince you. Weirdest part of your body. Any other part of your body behave like your teeth, you'd think that was mad. Like, they're the only part of your body you get a practice go at. Is that not weird? You get some teeth, and then your body goes, right, you know what you're doing with them? Right, get rid of those ones. Here comes your proper ones. You've got to force them through your body one by one. You don't get baby arms. Right, yeah, so it has been pointed out to me, you do get baby arms, but you get baby everything when you're a baby. But you know what I mean? They come with you for the journey. Grow is the word. They, you know, say like a 15-year-old who's got one stubborn baby arm, just looking down at it like, yeah, just the adult one hasn't come through yet. I think what I'm going to do is tie a bit of string around this arm, get my mum and dad to tie the other end to a door, just going to brace myself for it. They whack the door shut, the arm's on the floor, blood everywhere. You got to pick up your own arm, put it under your pillow. For the arm fairy. The arm fairy sounds like a fucking creep. You know what I mean? The tooth fairy, she's tiny, she's in and out your room, she's magical, you don't even know she's been there. The arm fairy sounds like it would have to be just like an adult man. Coming into your room, making no attempt to not wake you up, banging into stuff, fuck's sake. Plastic bag full to the brim of arms. Get up, give me your fucking arm, give me the ear. Ramming it into a Asda bags. Green Asda bag, but it's gone white with the pressure of it just expanding. He's looking you in the eye. Don't matter what I do with them. Don't matter what I do with the arms. Fuck off. That's his catchphrase. Don't matter what I do with the arms. Fuck off. Horrible man. Any part of your body behave like your teeth. You think that was unacceptable. Imagine seeing someone, they're walking down the street, they've got a bit of groin pain. They've got a limp on, they're grimacing, they're like, oh, fucking hell, man. Oh, I guess that's my wisdom dick coming through. Regular penis, couple of little wisdom dicks, that's normal. That is normal, the doctors told me that's normal. Just think, grinding your teeth is such an annoying way to let your stress out, because it doesn't make you less stressed. Like, all of the things the body does as a reaction to stress do not help you. Like, I've got a list here of some of the things your body will do when it's stressed out. See if any of these are chilling you out. A heightened sense of smell. Okay, it didn't help me out in Blackpool, did it? Acid reflux, muscle and joint ache, eczema, psoriasis, sweating, hair loss, IBS. It can make you indecisive. Or can it? I don't know. Bit of fun, that joke. I think it's the worst joke in the show. Or is it? I don't know. You can do it twice. It's not good, but it's recyclable. You get a lot out of that. Or can you? I don't know. Free. Then I get a sense you're not wanting a fourth. Or are you? I don't know. Pretty worrying how up for that some people are. Right, we will move on. I don't know. You can lose your sense of humour. Spotted a couple of stressed out people doing that, or is it? But you can skip a period. That gives you an idea how stressed out I am. I don't think I've had one. I know I'm not, like, the most stressed out person in the world, you know, but by a long way. I think I read about the most stressed out person. Works at a vineyard. He's worked there for 15 years and he loves it. Dream job. But he's been sacked and he has not dealt with it well. And you can tell he hasn't dealt with it well because I read about this in a national newspaper. Like, if your reaction to losing your job makes it into The Guardian, you've done something pretty fucked up here. The full quote about this man: when he was fired, he emptied 100 bottles of wine in anger. I was like, wow. Imagine how long it would take to stay angry throughout the duration of decorking and emptying 100 bottles of wine. I would pay any amount of money to watch the CCTV footage of him losing his job. Just to see that man losing it immediately, just like, you fucking what? You're sacking me after 15 years? You motherfuckers are going to regret the day that you sacked me from this. Vineyard! Fucking hell! Has anyone else been let go? She just me? That is absolutely insane. How the fuck am I the only person? How has Julie still got a job? Oh, look at me like that, Julie. When'd you get in this morning? When'd you? 9 o'clock my dickhole you did, Julie. It was 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock every morning, you work-side prick. Are there no screw caps in? Fucking hell. Nobody leave! I've got a weirdly specific number in mind. Right, I already get a slight sense in the room. Couple of people going, is he doing 100? That would have been my dream, by the way. I would have come on stage, I would have opened with that joke, do 100, leave. One show, one joke. That's the dream. And I think on a good day, I reckon I could keep that funny to 30 bottles. on a good day, I reckon 50, that's when the walkouts are happening. You're like, we get the joke, we're not happy, we're leaving. I reckon 70 bottles, we're down to a core audience of about 50 people. And they're not happy. They're shouting, they're heckling. Someone throws a beer bottle at me, I catch it, I use it in the mime. They're like... By 80 bottles, I reckon we're down to a core audience of like 20, 25 people. But by 90, the mood would change. And the people who are left would be like, hold on a second. I think he's going to fucking do this. Come on, Ian! They're calling people back into the gig. He's on 94! His nose is bleeding! Get in here! That was my dream. Comedy's a stressful job. I think comedy's a stressful job. If you think about the two most common stress or anxiety dreams, it's losing your teeth and public speaking. And I'm doing both of them now. Might as well take my clothes off and sit an exam I haven't revised for. Just do them all. And like I said before, even good stuff. Like last year, it's on Radio 4, and I got an acting casting. I haven't had an acting casting in a little while, and this one was special. No audition. They've gone straight to my agent. They want me for the part. That's never happened to me before. I'm excited. I'm waiting for the email to come through with all the info. Comes through. First red flag, no character name. It's not a big part. I don't know if there's any writers in the room, but often if a character has a lot to do, they will be given a name. No name. Just a 2-word character description. Boring creep. Wow. Boring creep. Quick recap. No audition. They've seen me at a gig. They've seen me at a gig and gone, this guy is perfect. Boring creep. 2 words, both upsetting. Boring, they're both bad words for me. I'd have been happier with one good word. One good word. I'd have preferred stylish paedophile. Like, yeah, okay. Stylish, they've seen me before. What's that last bit? Ah. Get stressed out by all sorts of stuff. Names and faces, that's a big thing for me at the minute. I'm so paranoid that I've met someone before and I've forgotten them that now I start every interaction by going, hey, we've met before. It's perfect. Because if you have met them before, it looks like you've remembered them. If you haven't, you're just like a weirdly popular guy, can't remember all his mates. In my head I was like, I think I fucked up that line. But then I was like, I don't think I did. It's just an awkward edit point. I think that'll be fine. Because I would say the degree to which I'm sweating means we cannot do retakes. Can't be like, oh yeah, there's a bit at the top that we missed out actually. I'm like, hello, thanks for coming. So we've really just got to nail it. No cuts. We're having it raw. We're having it raw. And that means sometimes I'll go, oh, I've got something. Oh no, I said that word for word perfect. Fuck. Like that sort of thing. Back into character. So, that's how I get to go, just an idiot northerner. What's this? It works every time. Now I have genuinely forgotten what comes next. No, works every time. Best case scenario, looks like you've remembered them. Worst case, you look like a weirdly friendly guy, can't keep track of all his mates. Every time I'm like, hey, we've met before. No? Okay, well I'll just have a 6 chicken nugget meal then, please. Ease yourself in. I've been paranoid about forgetting names since primary school. Day 1 of primary school, I remember asking this kid, Mark, what his name was 10 times. And I felt horrible about it. And I shouldn't even be worried about that because Mark became a good friend of mine. Mark was the first person whose house I stayed over at. First meal I had that wasn't cooked by my mum and dad was at Mark's house. And let me tell you, it was a mad meal. The main component, sausage and baked bean pie. That's northern even for me. Sausage and baked bean pie. Two sides accompanying it. You're probably thinking your mashed potato, your chips, your peas. You might not be expecting baked beans. Sausage and baked bean pie, little side of baked beans. There's something else on the plate. You're probably thinking, don't say it, Ian. Don't say 2 sausages. That's my first meal not cooked by my mum and dad. Sausage and baked bean pie with baked beans and 2 sausages. I went home to my mum and dad, I'm like, it's feral out there. They're putting the inside of the pie on the outside of the pie. What else stresses me out? Ushers in the theatre. I don't like them. I think they're patronising. Because you hand them a ticket, it's got something written on it like D9, then they start to give you directions to road D. If you don't think you can do that yourselves, you need to believe in yourselves a little bit more. Unless the theatre is set out in the QWERTY keyboard order. I reckon I'm going to nail row D, actually. The only trouble I have is if I'm on row H, got to spread myself across row A, I, T, C and H. So, and love, obviously, very stressful. And as I said, it's not a breakup show. Not a breakup show. I have a girlfriend now. Yeah, thank you. And we're expecting our first child. Yeah, in about 5 or 6 years, something like that. But I was single. I've been in a long-term relationship, and it's scary. I didn't know what being single was going to be like. I've never taken a dick pic before. I've never taken a dick pic. At least partly because I've only just realised my iPhone has the panoramic setting. Bit of fun. Second worst joke of the show. Or is it? I don't know. No, I think if I'm being honest, if I was to take a panoramic image of my penis, I reckon first 10% penis, the other 90% just other things in the room at the time. Just be like, here we go, right, that's the dick done, keep it steady, keep it within the lines. Table and chairs, might as well send that off. What else have we got? Mum and dad looking annoyed, fine. And cheer up. I don't know how far we are into the show, but it's a pretty galling time to look down and see a little toothpaste stain on my t-shirt. Must have a gig like that. The next bit of the show is the only bit I find embarrassing. So I don't want to look anyone in the eye when I do it. Can you just stand up for a second and just go just over there? Just take your seat. So I'd been with this girl for about 3 months, and I knew I was falling in love with her, but I didn't know if I should say that because I've you're shielded from those kind of decisions in a long-term relationship. So what I did is I googled, when do you tell someone you love them? That's fucking embarrassing. Has anyone else googled that before? No. Yeah, probably, if you don't mind standing, probably the rest of the show here for me. I don't know if you heard, there was a moment when it was silent, and in my head I was like, I think that means no. One audience member thought, I'll hammer it home. No. I don't know, you've just got to sit down. I'd feel bad if... Have you ever told someone you love them? Yeah, good. How long did you leave it? Which time? Absolute legend! 2-minute account, mate. The last time? For about 3 weeks. What was I worried about? I should have talked to you instead of Google. But you've just got to say it. That's it. Just got to say it. Learn from your mistakes, recalibrate for the future. But it does mean there's going to be points in your life where you have to go, I love you? No? Okay, I'll just have a 6 chicken nugget meal then, please. Ease yourself in. But I think this is why the dentist bothered me so much, because I was asking her about this teeth grinding. I said, what would be the first repercussion? Like if I keep grinding my teeth? And she said, in this tone, well, you'll have some silly looking teeth. Silly looking teeth, that's the jeopardy in my life. Silly looking teeth, so I'm going to look silly because of stress. So she's basically saying, you're going to look silly because of your dog shit personality. Off out into the dating world you go. Because that's all we are, isn't it? Looks and personality. That's all we've got to offer. You know, obviously you hear people say, I don't love them for their looks. I love them for their personality. That's fantastic. Don't think I've ever heard someone say, I don't love them for their looks. Or their personality. Yeah, what do you like about this person? I have realised in the process of writing this show, money. That is the third one. So I'm running home from the dentist and I'm straight on Google and I'm Googling stuff like, how to relax now. Ways to relax immediately. And you're probably thinking, well, the only way you can relax is by making small, meaningful changes in your life that have a cumulative effect over time. Fuck off! No! The first thing I did, I went to a sensory deprivation flotation tank. And let me tell you, that should never be the first thing you do. If you don't know what these things are, it's like a big tank filled with salt water, and the salt is so condensed that you just float effortlessly on the surface. They put the lid down, it's pitch black, you can't see anything, you can't hear anything, and they describe this feeling of weightlessness and senselessness by saying, you won't know where the water begins or your body ends. You'll just be thoughts in the darkness. Does that sound relaxing? Just thoughts in the darkness? I'm stressing out. I'm trying to escape my thoughts. I'm not trying that to be like the only thing I am now. Just thoughts in the darkness. And for some reason, you're bouncing up and down, just drifting a little bit. I haven't done anything, but I'm just drifting until hit the side of the tank, hit the other side of the tank, just bobbing about like an old DVD screensaver logo. And they tell you before you go in the tank, they say, be careful in there. You know, the words you want to hear before a relaxation experience. Be careful in that tank. If any of the water goes in your eyes, it will be incredibly painful. And I got water in my eyes very early on because I put my hand into my eye. Because, another quick recap, I don't know where the water begins or my body ends. I feel something touching my face. My first thought, someone is in the tank. But they tell you, don't worry. If the water goes in your eyes, we've hung up a spray on the side of the tank with regular water in. Spray that into your eyes, you'll feel better. Now, I'm not trying to patronise you guys by going over these details, but I can't see. I can't see, and I can't feel any of my limbs. Where is the spray, and what am I picking it up with? I had to get what I think was my arm, slapping it against the side of the tank, until eventually I feel something. I think this must be the spray. So then I put a bottle directly in front of my own eyeball. I spray a fast jet of water into my eye. My retina has detached. That's bobbing about somewhere now. I get about 5 more minutes of relaxation before an alarm goes off, which is how they've chosen to signify the end of your relaxation. By going, bah, 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 get out of the tank now, your time's up. Lid comes off, it's like you're seeing sunlight for the first time. Relearning how to use your legs again. Waddling over to reception. 2 receptionists smiling back at you. Would you like to book in any more flotations, Mr. Smith? Absolutely not. Go fuck yourselves. I've got my hand on the door to leave when one of the receptionists calls back and says, oh, Mr. Smith, just to let you know, you may feel very dehydrated for the next 2 days as a result of the half-an-hour relaxation experience. Is that a fair swap? 2 days of intense dehydration. I've never drank so much in my life. I saw a mirage in my flat. It's November. I was like, why is there a palm tree in my flat? That's like having a massage. Lovely massage. Feel all the tension just going out your body there. Like, oh, that's nice, isn't it? This will make you shit yourself for a week. So I'm back home, back on Google, putting stuff in quotation marks now, like ultimate de-stressing time, ultimate de-stressing experience. I find an exact match on a website called enjoybratislava.com. I'm off to Slovakia. The ultimate de-stressing experience. Car demolition, tank driving day. You get sledgehammers, you fuck up a car for about half an hour, then you get in a tank, you drive the tank over the car. As soon as I saw that, I was like, get me a one-way ticket to Slovakia now. Followed by another one-way ticket in 2 days' time, going back to where I came from. A return. A return. But there was a problem. In the top corner of the website, there's a little sign that said, this event has a 6-person minimum. Fuck. I realised very quickly, this is a website almost exclusively for stag do's and work events. And I should have known that, because on the drop-down menu, one of the additional extras you could choose was for €7 per person, you could have a stripper in your minibus. That's not the usual element of a relaxation experience. They didn't offer that at the flotation tank. 6-person minimum. So I'm having to ask around some of my friends, see if I can get anyone to come along. One person said yes, my hairdresser. Dom, he's coming. And it's important to me that you know Dom is my friend. You know what I mean? I wasn't getting my hair cut and he's gone, going anywhere on your holidays? I'm like, yeah, I am, and I need people. I've known Dom about 8 years, and every time I used to introduce Dom to my friends, I thought it was funny to go, this is Dom, my hairdresser. I've stopped doing that, because multiple people made the same joke, where they would look at Dom and go, I wouldn't want to admit to being his hairdresser, mate. Yeah, and then they would laugh, and then Dom would look at them, point at my face and go, yeah, but you can only work with the tools you've got. And then they would laugh. Now it's just two people bonding over how shit my haircut is. So I stopped doing that for the old self-esteem. Went back to the tank driving place. I was like, right, I can get 2. And they said, oh, so you mean 3 in total? No. No, you've misread that in quite a humiliating way for me, actually. And I understand what you've done. I included myself as one of the 2 people I could get. I managed to convince myself to come along. So they said, no, it's not enough people, it needs to be 6 people. So why does it need to be 6 people? It's too expensive between 2 people. Split it between 6 people, it becomes affordable. It's like, well, how much is it for 1 person? Just what is the price if someone wanted to do it? The reply I got to that email, 1 person would not do this by themselves. I was like, I know for a fact they would. You're in an email correspondence with him now. So he reluctantly told me how much for 1 person. And, well, yeah, it is pricey. But you may have seen me last year playing boring creep in 1 episode of the Emily Attack Show on ITV2. The fee for that, £100 less than a car demolition tank driving experience. Just in case you want to go into acting, you're trying to gauge the fee structure. So I said, we're doing it, I'll pay for it. Me and Dom, we're coming. 2 weeks later, we're in the airport, picking up snacks for the plane from W.H. Smith. Another couple of days after that, we get met by someone from the tank driving experience. They still seem genuinely confused to see 2 people. So coming over to us like, it's not a stag do, is it? Like, no, that'd be a pretty depressing stag do, actually. Are you celebrating something? No, I've just had some pretty upsetting dental news. Well, a work do. Do you work together? Yes. Yeah, Dom works for me once every 2 months for an hour. It's a hairdresser client outing. Looks straight at Dom and goes, I wouldn't want to admit to being his hairdresser, mate. Come on. Puts us on the minibus. Minibus. 12 seats. 2 people. there's a sign on the top of the minibus that says, your seatbelt must be worn at all times. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, how is a stripper operating in this environment? But best case scenario, she's trying to strip with a seatbelt on, while one member of the stag do sits next to her, describing what she's doing to 3 rows of free behind him. And we should have got strippers. And not in a misogynistic way, but we should have got strippers because they didn't change the price on the itinerary. That's €7 per person. That's €14 a stripper. Get 4 of them on board. We're at the 6-person minimum. Like, come on, keep your clothes on. Pick up a hammer. We're going to fuck up a Toyota. And fuck up a Toyota we did. I cannot recommend this experience enough. It's incredible. You get a big metal sledgehammer. You're smashing up a car. You get knives for the tyres. I don't know if you've ever stabbed a car tyre with a knife. Give it a go on the way home. It feels amazing. Dom's lost his mind. He's ripping off a wing mirror with his hands. He's taking too much off the sides, as per. Smashing up the back of the car, holding up a mirror so I can see what he's done. Yeah, a bit more off. He's got one of those hot tea towels. I don't know where he's heating it up. Then we get in the tank. We do 3 laps of an industrial estate. I didn't think we'd react like this, but every time we passed the car we'd beaten up, we're just giving it shit. Just in the back of a tank, just going around, we see the car. Oh, looking pretty banged up there, are you, mate? Just back in the tank again. Oh, we're coming back for you! We get to our car. Start crushing the car. There's glass flying all over the place like tooth enamel in my bedroom at night. And I feel like the whole thing is happening in slow motion. And I think I have 2 consecutive thoughts. My first thought, I'm in Slovakia with my hairdresser. And we are crushing a car with a tank. This is the most relaxed I've felt in 5 years. Immediate second thought, this cannot be how I deal with stress. Time to make some small, meaningful changes. But we go over our car, and then the tank makes an immediate beeline for a second car. Free of charge, bonus car. We're losing out, we're jumping up, back and down in the back of the tank like, bonus car! Until I have a worrying thought where I think, it's either a bonus car or the driver's just been sacked, we've got another 98 to go. Well, that's pretty much the end of the show. Any questions? Okay. Well, are we finished? Let me pop this in then. Thank you very much, Anthony Smith. Thank you.
Thank you very much.